Right, top 5 leads for UKC angling. This is the breakaway short tail lead for beach fishing. You can get them in lots of different sizes, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 ounce. I generally use the 6, 7 ounce one for this. I sometimes tie a little clip where the eye is at the top, because sometimes there can be a little bit of an abrasiveness there, and your 50, 60 pound shock leader, if you keep casting the entire session, sometimes that'll snap there, so I put on a little link just there. But good for casting, they grip well in the tide, and they ping out. These little red things here, they ping out. You can fish it on like a running ledger or just a fixed paternoster, and sometimes they do get snagged in the bottom if there's a few snags out there. So what you can do, you can buy a little like a little white breakaway do it. It's a little bit of plastic they stick above there, and it helps to lift it and to keep it off the bottom when you retrieve it. But all in all, yeah, they're pretty good leads really, and yeah, they hold well in the seabed when there's a good tide, and you just clip them back in when you're ready to cast out again. I think this is the 170 version. Another good lead I use, depending on where I am, it's mainly sort of for boat fishing. The watch lead. It's you can use it for shore fishing as well. It because of its profile, it resists the temptation to sort of roll along with the tide so much. It will move, but not so much. And it's very effective for with your turbot fishing on the banks, or when you want to slow it down a little bit. Yeah, that's a generally it just resists the temptation for rolling on the seabed. They can get them in 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 10 ounce versions. It's good for boat fishing, drifting on the sandbanks for plaice, turbot and brill, and things like that. And yeah, it's just a very good lead. Like you say, it's very thin wire at the top there. You might want to put a little clip on there. I wouldn't tie your mono to that little eye. It looks a little thin for me. You might after a few casts. But hey, I mean, if you're boat fishing, it probably doesn't make too much difference. But I'm not sure on the price of these. They're not overly expensive. So I find it better just to buy your leads, to be quite honest. Cannonball Lady. Now these are relatively new. Quite a sort of it's like a slim, tight profile and boat fishing, and they do go straight down. Now with the braid on your boat fishing, you can get away with a lot lighter leads. The thinner your braid you've got, the thinner resistance you've got on that line, therefore you can have a lesser lead. So I mean, I sometimes fish drifting on a boat, various stages of tide, like 6, 7, 8 ounce. So years ago, you used to use like 10 ounce, which we use mono. Depending how deep you're going. So you can get away with quite. It's got a slim profile. Up to 4 to 16 ounce. Good for your wreck fishing and things like that. And yeah, I mean, you can get the mould and you can make your own, or you can buy them. And yeah, like I say, you want a little clip on the eye there, something a bit thicker, a bit more sort of user friendly, so it doesn't chafe so much. But yeah, like you say, I mean, I use like I think it's a 6, 7 ounce lead I generally use for my boat fishing, and yeah, that's all I use. I don't use them off the beach. It's mainly going to be boat fishing if I'm going to use them. And this next lead I'm going to talk about is called, well, I've called it the Torpedo lead. It's not actually called a torpedo lead, but in my brain, that's what I thought it was. But there's another company called it Super Zoom lead. Anyway, it's one of the first leads we used to make, actually. I used to make them at home. And when I used to do wreck fishing, drifting over wrecks for big pollock and cod 20 years ago, 25 years ago even. And I used to rig it up on a flying collar trace. And it's got a good profile, they're easy to sort of make. And they're just, all in all, they're just a very, very good sort of lead. They're sort of streamlined and, like I say, good for wreck drifting, 6 ounce, 10 ounce, 8 ounce, that sort of a lead really. And what you could do if you're fishing over wrecks, you could just attach it with a bit of weak link. So if you do snag up, then the lead will go. You get it caught on the wreck, and you might get your fish and your your flying collar away, so to speak. So just bear that in mind. So just clipping it on with a metal link to the boom, that means the whole lot's going to get caught up. So you might just want to put a tiny little bit, sort of, I don't know, £15 link to it. That should be more than enough to make sure your knots are quite good though. And this one, last but not least, the pierced bullet lead. Now, I've fished this quite a lot using the Carolina rig, where I'd thread this through my main line. One thing I would say is this, I wouldn't just use braid. Like if you had like £15-20 braid through there to a bead, to a swivel, and you keep casting it out on the Carolina rig, you'll eventually, that'll snap your braid, because this is quite rough, this edge in here. But with monofilament through there, through the eye, doesn't seem to make too much difference. So what you want a little bit of sort of rubbing leader through there. So it's a good lead for running rigs. If you just want a stray line into the bottom, just have a bead, a swivel, a short trace of a foot long, a hook, a bait, and just lob it into the kelp. You can do it like that. You can have this lead tight down to the hook, just to weight it down, to fish a whole pilchard or something like that. But I've mainly used this with a Carolina, just literally just casting it out and just like retrieving it, let it sink to the bottom and just bouncing it along the bottom. It's a very good lead. And also they're good for underneath floats as well. If you're mackerel fishing or garfish, wrasse fishing, you're going to want some sort of a lead underneath it, and this is perfect. So this is a very, very, be surprised how much this does actually get used. You know, it's I've got quite a selection of them now. And yeah, it's a technique. I mean, you can even sort of fish off the beach with live sand eels. You know, with the run and rig, like you would do off a boat. I've even done that before. Yeah, fantastic lead. Anyway, those are the leads, short and sweet. Just gives you a little taste of what they're for, and you don't need many. These are the only ones I use when I'm sea fishing. All right, I'll see you later. Please subscribe and catch you later.